Hello and welcome one and all, the atmosphere building very nicely here. Gorgeous, gorgeous evening, the skies are clear, the noise is fervent, the atmosphere frenetic. My name's Peter Drury and here's my co-commentator for the game, it's Jim Beglin.
Cheers Peter, it's a privilege to be here, it really is.
Well, it looks like a big game, sounds like a big game, everyone involved is absolutely up for it. Things have got underway here pretty promptly. There could be trouble here. Jim, which player is best equipped for this game?
Well, Peter, I've been very impressed with this fella Upamecano. We all know of his impressive record, but he's a lovely blend of athleticism and technical nous that he developed from quite an early age. It'll be interesting to see who his opponents bring to the table to test him, because testing him demands a lot.
I wonder whether that has anything to do with you being a defender once upon a time, Jim. Well, he was clearly disappointed with that pass.
France clearly should have gone for the easier pass. Now they'll have to quickly regroup.
And that's been intercepted.
He read that really well and stopped it.
Portugal have reclaimed it. João Felix. And it's Hernandez. Fair to say, I think, a cautious start from both teams. Oh, that's really good play on the right. He's driving forward. And that is out of play. And he was quick to react. Oh, good-looking ball. João Cancelo gets over and intercepts. Conte.
Well, both teams are proceeding with caution, but there's plenty of time to wait for some attacking purpose.
Doué. France look happy to sit back for the moment here.
Yeah, everything they're doing screams counter-attack, but it's a long counter-attack. When they win it back, they're not wasting any time. They're just trying to get the runners away as quickly as possible.
Doué. Pass is coming off in quick succession here. And here's Olise. Now, can they get him away? Olise unable to make it happen for all his good intentions. Doué. Thuram receives it in a good position here. Ronaldo is onto it in a flash. Cristiano Ronaldo. Pass is just off target. Well, the ball just didn't work out for the run that he made.
Portugal clearly didn't help themselves by telegraphing that one. It was always going to be intercepted.
Now it's Thuram. Oh, it's a promising build-up, this. Plenty of really nice passing. Oh, that's an excellent interception. Real chance! Goal! France! That really is quite fabulous. All his own doing.
I'm not making any apologies, but I was willing him to supply the finish, and he came up trumps.
France have penetrated for the first time.
Well, this should allow them to be a bit more expansive, although they'll be wise to be cautious for now. They'll want to make the most of this turnover.
Knocks it into space. Shapes to shoot! And the keeper couldn't hold it. He has done it! They are really purring here, and they have extended their lead in the blink of an eye. And he's only too grateful to capitalise on the keeper's misfortune.
Well, they say all goalkeepers are crazy, and after that, maybe there's some truth in it.
France are sitting pretty, 2-0 up.
This is wonderful front-footed football. The manager will be absolutely thrilled to see his team clicking in every department.
Nicely shaped ball. Oh, that's well spotted. João Neves. And it's Nunez. Into the final 5 minutes of the first half. Played out to the left flank. João Felix. Now it's Neves. Oh, that was vital. Deftly away. Looking for the run. Klaus. Tries to play it through. Brilliantly cut out.
Vamos ter minuto de compensação.
Nuno Mendes. Ronaldo looks to get on the end of this. Upamecano. And the first half is done. Any opinion you'd like to express on the first half?
Portugal really are lucky not to be down by more, Peter. The manager's going to have to come up with something a little special to lift these players. Otherwise, this one's as good as done.
Here we go again then.
I think it'll be fascinating to see how they're going to change their approach here. They have to go for it and try and pull one back, but they also have to be aware that going 3 down will probably seal their fate.
Hernandez. Mbappe does have his name on the score sheet, of course. Great vision. Doué gets into some space.
Well, that might be the first time they've gone long, Peter. They've clearly been told to try something different.
Paris ended up in no man's land. Klaus. For Olise. Conte. Tchouameni. Passing is crisp and sharp. Can he get on the end of this? Might be... Oh, shooting chance! Euphoria, utopia, and they are cavorting. And the lead is extended still further. Was there ever any doubt?
Yeah, he always had the measure of the keeper, and there was very little doubt as to how this was going to end up.
France find a position of real strength now. And he's worked it through. He has found the way through. It's all a little bit desperate, but it's got the job done.
Oh, that's brilliantly defended, though. It looked destined for a goal.
He's in a great position here. Chance! Oh, extraordinary.
I think that's just more proof that this team is very comfortable playing on the break. They're really swift.
Well played. That has snuffed out the danger. Now it's Thuram. Now it's Olise. Looking tidy in possession here. Oh, it's inches away from being a really good ball. A slightly better ball would have led to a very different outcome there.
They should have done a lot better there. The final ball was very poor.
And that's been won straight back. France looking to pass their way through. Great ball, and he's in here. Can he finish? Great football, shot and save.
Incredible. He had all the time in the world to pick his spot as well.
Substituição para Portugal. Número
France with their first corner, the first in the game for either side, actually.
Número 15. Vão dar os seus lugares.
And the keeper beats it away.
Número 18.
And now they can spring out of defence.
Número 8. Vamos dar
It's beautifully weighted. It looked as though that might lead to something quite promising, but it turned out that that was not the case. Now it's Doué. France finding their passes. It's an inviting-looking ball, that. Portugal are, of course, in a position to go to the bench should the need arise. Hernandez looking to hit the byline here. Dembele! Went with his head, but couldn't steer it in. France appear to be happy to let their front players stay up front all the time.
Well, it's signalling to the opposition that they're setting themselves up for the counter-attack. It's plain and simple.
Just a quarter of an hour to play. Now it's Rafael Leao.
If they want to counter, they could do with more speed.
Closing in on goal. And a chance! And he hits the net! They're back within reach! One sweeping move, executed with deadly efficiency.
Look, if you want to be effective on the break, then the key element is always pace. That's what really rips defences apart, and it's difficult to find an answer to it when it's applied like that.
And it didn't take him long. Just sitting on the bench and waiting moments ago, already he has scored.
I think the manager's claiming an assist here.
So, just a consolation, or is there a way back from here? That is lovely. And it's Doué. Cristiano Ronaldo being hunted in packs.
Yeah, and they've got to be careful, Peter, that they don't allow their attempt to...
Oh, they could be caught out here. Rafael Leao.
Well, he got rid because he was under pressure.
Portugal have got it back and they'll have another go. Mbappe. Hernandez. Now he's got space here.
Well, it's a move of great promise, but will it really prove productive?
Bruno Fernandes. And that's really well manoeuvred. For Pedro Neto. Time added on will be 2 minutes. Doué. No, that was never going to make it. Vitinha. And here's Neto. He's in space and looking for options. Defending of the desperate variety. And they've got rid. Referee looks at his watch and blows his whistle. Well, that's a tough one. Losing is never good, but this one feels especially hard to take. Well, what a sight this is. A beautiful evening and the promise of a match that will really get the juices flowing. I'm Peter Drury, and seated in the experts' hot seat is our man Jim Beglin.
Thanks, Peter. It's a pleasure and a privilege for me to be here.
And the mood is boisterous. It is a perfect ambience for the central characters who are ready now to perform. The action has already started. Great chance! Now it's Ramos. He's through, now is he in? They're urging him to shoot.
That's just playing it safe and simple.
Well, the movement is slick, the speed is slippery. The defence, though, able to hold on this time. Now it's Mbappe. Now it's Doué. That's been slipped through. Ronaldo might just make this. Oh, nicely intercepted. Not the most accurate pass.
You'd be disappointed with that.
Corner then. And we have our very first corner. Now there's the clearance. And it's made its way to him. Cross needs to be good. And the chances keep on coming. They're awarded another corner. It's their second corner of the game. France have the chance to go the other way. Who do you, Jim, see making the difference here?
Well, this man, João Cancelo, is going to add so much more dynamism to his side, and he's the type of player who does well in a flowing system, in a flowing team. I like it when he moves centrally and makes himself an effective outlet. He basically can become a number 10, and he can produce some delicious little dinks over the top of any opposition defence.
No argument from me on that front. It's easy to see how his presence alone affects both sides. Well, the ball just didn't work out for the run that he made.
They should have done a lot better there. The final ball was very poor.
It's a good foot in there. Over to the left. Oh, good read.
That was well played, well stopped.
Oh, he's going to be disappointed with that. Thuram. Conte. Now it's Doué. Looking for options for movement. Portugal, so far, providing no real test at all for the goalkeeper. Now it's Cristiano Ronaldo. And the shot! Well, now it's a race for the ball. Oh, he's been caught on it here! Mbappe.
That will annoy the manager. They're making themselves too predictable here.
Tries to play it through. He's in a great position here. And it's hoisted clear. Ruben Dias gets over and intercepts. France trying to orchestrate a breakaway here by the looks of it.
Well, I would say that this is probably the easiest way to play the game, because you try and absorb in numbers defensively, and then you look to hit it with a long ball quickly on the counter-attack to get your men in behind the opposition defence.
Just looking for that one telling pass. Olise. Nicely weighted ball, and he's worked it through. Klaus. Thuram receives it in a wide position. It's just beyond his reach. And it's Doué. Gonzalo Ramos. And here's the chance to counter. Hernandez kept his eye on it, and he's there. And the pass is intercepted. Olise. Inacio gets a foot in here. Now it's Ramos. Nuno Mendes. Nice looking ball. That's beautifully weighted. And that's the end of that. It all started well enough. João Cancelo. Oh, that's really good play on the right. He's driving forward. And he cuts out the supply. And it's Vitinha. Oh, well played, well sorted out. Now that's well seen too. Gonçalo Ramos. Thuram. Olise. He's picked his way through.
Vamos ter minuto de
No,
compensação.
not quite on the same wavelength. Gonçalo Inácio.
They need to play this quicker in transitions like this.
Gonçalo Ramos. Well, and we hit half-time. It hasn't been a bad watch, not by any means. The intensity levels are there. We've just lacked that telling breakthrough moment. An intriguing half, lacking only in goals. The score 0-0. That gets things going for the second half. 0-0, and we're at the halfway point. Ruben Neves. The pressing's intense, and it's paid off. Thuram. Oh, it's a promising build-up, this. Plenty of really nice passing. Tchouaméni. Looking to play him in. Klaus. And it's Conte. Well seen, saw that coming. And the whistle has gone for a reckless challenge there. And he has shown him a yellow card. Well, that pass isn't the best. Tchouaméni. Now it's Thuram. France finding their passes. Lovely pass, but can he get there?
I wouldn't fancy playing up front in these circumstances, to be honest. There's absolutely no supply.
And here's Thuram. Conte. Up towards the hour mark, and still no goals. Well, it didn't look good for a while, but that was brave defending, and they got away with it.
You know, it was an intervention that had to be made. Serious trouble lay in store.
Kante did just about enough to come out on top there. Neither party overly willing to compromise. And he shoots! And that has earned a few nods of approval from the bench.
Substituição para Portugal.
Corner number 3 coming up.
Número 15. Número 9. Vão dar os seus lugares a...
And now a sudden chance to counter.
Número 24. Número 17. Vamos dar lugar a uma substituição.
Hernandez. It is still anyone's game, 0-0. Here's Tchouaméni. Portugal are, of course, in a position to go to the bench should the need arise.
Yeah, and I think if you're looking for change in a tight game like this, Peter, it's all about getting the timing right.
Oh, that's wonderful alertness. And he has slightly undercooked that one.
Well, I think the opposition saw that pass coming a mile off, and it wasn't the best decision.
Well timed, excellent interception. Doué. Olise. Cristiano Ronaldo under intense pressure.
Yeah, and if they're going to try and stop him in this fashion, Peter, they're going to really test the referee's patience from here.
Passing is crisp and sharp.
France seem happy to bash their heads against the brick wall, Peter. That central route forward is just a no-go zone.
And that's been intercepted.
He read that really well and stopped it.
Upamecano did well to emerge with the ball. That's a contest to keep an eye on. Nicely shaped ball. 75 minutes played. Unrelenting, uncompromising pressure on him.
Don't you just love the level of intensity here? Neither is prepared to back down, and to be honest, that's how it should be.
That's a love. And the shot! And it's in! And late in the day, a telling moment.
Well, what a shift in moods here, Peter. That weight's finally off their shoulders, and tails are well and truly up.
And a trademark move ends with the inevitable classy finish.
Portugal are such an adept counter-attacking team. They produced something out of nothing there. A few seconds was all it took for them to convert a defensive situation into a goal, and it's very impressive.
Substituição para Portugal. Número 20.
We have got changes here from both sides, in fact. Two changes here, and both in the back line.
Yeah, it's a reshuffle at the back, Peter. Introducing more solidity, I would think.
A 1-0 lead established.
Yeah, all their effort pays off in the end. It just took that extra bit of dynamism to get them the goal they craved. Well, Peter, just see here how a lot of the attacking players aren't dropping back anymore.
And that means just one thing, I suppose.
Yeah, they just simply want to engage the counter-attack.
Dembele, real chance! Well, he's hit it long, but astray. Just 5 minutes left. Expertly cut out, really nicely done.
France really can only do one thing now, Peter. Get the ball up front, make sure it sticks, and sustain some pressure. Look, there has to be more urgency here. The ball has to get to the other end much faster.
And this is Ronaldo. Shin to shin, bicep to bicep, and he wins out. Time and again they are repelled.
Foram indicados 2
Nelson
minutos de
Semedo.
compensação.
Rafael Leao looking to run onto it. Bruno Fernandes. And they're back on the ball again. And that is as far as it goes. Well, that was tense. Boy, that was tense. The two sides separated by the game's Well, what a sight this is, a beautiful evening, and the promise of a match that will really get the juices flowing. I'm Peter Drury, and here with me in the commentary box, I'm glad to report, is Jim Beglin.
Hello, Peter, and hello to everyone watching. For me, it's a real thrill to be here.
There's nothing quite like match day, especially here. This crowd doesn't do ordinary, and we should be in for something very special. We have already started here. And the shot! And that would have been some goal.
Yeah, I think he's a little annoyed with himself there, Peter, because he did pretty much everything right up to the end.
Passing is crisp and sharp. Good take, and is he in? Olise is fouled. Well, that looks like a final warning, still no card. And here's Olise. Well, the movement is slick, the speed is slippery. The defence, though, able to hold on. Thuram! He's done very well to get to that.
Thuram really must be thinking what he has to do to score there.
Tries to play it through. Vitinha. Cristiano Ronaldo. Not the most accurate pass. He's got away. Ah, such a clever touch. That is good strength. Klaus. That's good play. Throw it. But it is clear to see that he is not at all happy with that.
Well, that's down to a simple miscalculation. No more, no less.
Little pass back. The counter is on for Portugal. He's a sharp little ball here. Nuno Mendes. He gets big. Oh, the keeper's done ever so well.
That's very, very good. You can't ask for much more than that.
It's Cristiano Ronaldo! Goal! Portugal! And Portugal score first. And that is about as cool as they come. He picked his spot expertly.
That's expertly finished, and he's done that so often.
So we have the first goal.
Well, that gives them the privilege to control the tempo of the game. It's up to them to manage it from here now.
Oh, what has happened here? Chance, surely! Ruben Dias gets good distance on it. Well, that pass isn't the best. Now it's Thuram. France trying to orchestrate a breakaway here by the looks of it.
Well, I would say that this is probably the easiest way to play the game, because you try and absorb in numbers defensively, and then you look to hit it with a long ball quickly on the counter-attack to get your men in behind the opposition defence.
Just looking for that one telling pass. Olise. Vitinha. Well read, and the danger is averted. And the two sides separated by the game's only breakthrough moment to this point. 1-0 the score. And it's Vitinha. Nuno Mendes. Oh, he's caught him there, it's a free kick. It's a pretty loose pass. Keeper has taken decisive action. Thuram. Chance here to counter. Now, can they get him away?
Well, they keep pressing like that as long as they can.
And that's been intercepted.
That was well played, well stopped.
Olise cuts a frustrated figure right now. He just cannot get away.
They're just trying to negate his influence, and it looks like whatever it takes.
Pressing high and with purpose. Cristiano Ronaldo. Can he finish? It's a goal! And there's the goal they've been looking for. Well, there was to be no other outcome.
I think the defence really need to wake up here, Peter. They really shouldn't be getting caught out like that.
Things starting to look very comfortable.
We're looking at a very different game now.
Shoots! He's got a goal! And they are dragging it back! Game on again! One sweeping move, executed with deadly efficiency.
Well, it's an example of counter-attacking at its finest. Real cut and thrust.
We have got ourselves a game here.
Well, there's a real sense that the momentum has shifted here, Peter, and the crowd are reacting to that now.
In with the challenge. And there's his chance to lead the counter. Oh, perfectly measured. Cristiano Ronaldo! Cristiano Ronaldo! A class apart, out on his own! That is a gem! An absolute gem!
Yeah, that's really well played.
Chance for a shot! Off the post! And that has been clubbed away. And here's Doué. Danger averted for now. And there is the half-time whistle.
Well, Peter, I think the score is a fair reflection of what we've witnessed so far, and that being good movement in both midfield and indeed up front. If those players, I think, can carry on where they left off after the break, they should impose themselves even more, and probably only one result coming here.
Portugal head in for half-time with a 3-1 lead. And the game has already resumed here. Well played, that has snuffed out the danger. Tchouaméni. Now it's Thuram. Vitinha. And it's Mendes. That looks a cracking ball. And he's managed to get free. He's shifted it to the flank. Nuno Mendes with the cross. Now it's Thuram. Oh, it's a promising build-up, this. Plenty of really nice passing. Well, played right into his path. He has found the way through. Oh, he's got a crucial block in there. Well, that defending is unapologetically persistent. It's almost personal. And it had to be.
I'm not sure the shot was ever on there, really. There were just too many bodies in the way, Peter.
Ruben Neves gets a foot in here. So, Jim, is that the manager telling the forwards that they must stay forward for now?
Well, I think he just is concentrating on the shape here, and he wants them to press as high as they can and get in the right position to do that collectively.
Mbappe receives it in a good position here. Ruben Dias defending his corner stubbornly, stood up very well to his man. And that interception was most necessary.
He read that really well and stopped it.
Cute ball now, how can he reach it? Vitinha was alert to the possibilities, but in the end it's fruitless. There's the delivery. Tchouaméni. And here's Vitinha. Shot could be on. Mendes has it out wide and in space. That is an excellent defensive intervention from the front man. Looking to play him in. He's in plenty of space here. Mbappe is having a shot!
Substituição para Portugal. Número
France
23.
with their first corner, the first in the game for either side, actually.
Número 15. Número
And it's been
7.
taken short.
Cristiano Ronaldo.
Turns and goes back. And the shot!
Número 8.
Oh, fine stop from the keeper.
Saliba is offering a right smile there.
Número 18. Está a proceder-se a uma substituição.
Saliba. Portugal are, of course, in a position to go to the bench should the need arise.
They'll want to make the most of this turnover.
Pass somewhat off target. Chouameni, well seen, saw that coming. Looking for a runner. No luck with that dink over the top. Hernandez. France looking to pass their way through. Now it's Mbappe. Ruben Neves. Tries to pass it through. And here's Neto. Now it's Rafael Leao. Matheus Nunes. Played out to the right.
Well, at least they acknowledge the effort.
Pavard. France finding their passes. And Doué. Now this could be a chance. Shot a goal! Really well taken goal. Right back in the game. Really tidily gathered and ultimately a more than tidy finish.
Way too good, Peter. Too quick, too smart for that defence, who were made to look a little lost, in all honesty.
This is threatening to become a really good game.
Well, they'll just be praying that one more chance falls their way before the whistle goes. France really are showing all the necessary urgency, but it's potency they need.
Konate kept aware, and it is reclaimed easily. Oh, good read.
That's great positioning, so good from him.
Now it's Rafael Leao. And that's been intercepted.
That was well played, well stopped.
Very much into the last knockings.
France really can only do one thing now, Peter. Get the ball up front, make sure it sticks, and sustain some pressure.
Konate wins the duel this time. Oh, super ball. He's had a shot! No mistake! We thought it was over! It's all square once more!
Look, that was a technical interaction of great football. That has gone down a treat.
So all square with almost no time remaining.
Well, those players out there must be exhausted now, Peter, but at least they have momentum, which augurs well if this goes to extra time.
Hernandez, that's a little off target. João Cancelo knocks it into space. And he's quick to get it clear again. 90 minutes up, and we will be back for extra time.
Well, look, this has been a hard-fought encounter, Peter, so mistakes are far more likely over the next 30 minutes.
So 90 minutes couldn't produce a winner, and we have extra time.
Caros espectadores, vamos passar boletim informativo das forças de segurança locais no ecrã gigante. Pedimos a todos a vossa máxima atenção. Obrigado. Vamos dar lugar a uma substituição.
Stern test this for the endurance, for the character of the players as we head into extra time. Portugal pay the price for failing to close out the match in normal time. Can they avoid the same fate here, where the consequences are still more serious? Pavard. That has ended up in no man's land. Matheus Nunes. Ruben Neves. Passes coming off in quick succession here. Dembele. Mbappe. Oh no, that was never going to make it. Pedro Neto. Hernandez. Well, the ball just didn't work out for the run that he made.
They should have done a lot better there. The final ball was very poor.
Now it's Kolo Muani. Good running, strong and purposeful. And it's Ruben Neves. Bruno Fernandes. Matheus Nunes ploughing through the middle. Well, the defence proved infallible then, but that won't be the last they'll see of him. Threads one in. Mendes has it in a wide position. That's it for the first period of extra time. Well, both teams have run themselves into the ground out there. Does anyone have one last moment of magic in them? And so the last chance to find a winner. They have given it everything. It's been gruelling. But who will be standing at the very end? Well seen. Saw that coming.
He read that really well and stopped it.
Mendes made a surge from full-back. As it turned out, shapes to shoot! And somehow he managed to miss it.
Matheus Nunes fully appreciates that he could have won it then, and now he'll be all the keener not to lose it.
Ruben Dias makes the interception. Well read, nice interception. Ruben Neves. Matheus Nunes. And that interception was most necessary.
That's great positioning, so good from him.
Well, played right into his path. He's shifting through the gears here. Mbappe! It's goal! Oh, that is a late call, but it's the right one.
Yeah, the assistant did have his flag up. The referee seemed to spot it late, though. Nevertheless, the right decision.
Disappointment and relief on either side. Nothing doing.
Substituição para Portugal. Número 20.
We have got changes here from both sides, in fact.
Vão dar os seus lugares a número 2.
And it's Dembele. It's an imaginative pass. And that pass just didn't quite work. Dembele is offering some sort of an apology there.
His teammates are really annoyed with that, you know, and they have every right to be.
Oh, shooting chance!
Well, that might be that, Peter. Maybe both sides just going to have to settle for the draw now.
That's a foul, no two ways about it. And no surprise, that's a booking. Oh, good take in a good area. Pedro Neto chasing after it. Pedro Neto. Not much subtlety about that challenge. The ball's gone astray. Still inseparable. We have penalties.
Look, I've been in this position myself, and after a gruelling game, you don't want to back down if the manager asks you to take a penalty for fear of appearing weak. You can't let fatigue cloud your judgment.
So it comes down to this, a final rallying cry, and then kicks from the spot. They could really do with scoring the first penalty. And he has done his bit.
Well, he totally nailed that penalty, picked his spot, and didn't change.
And so the captain steps up. coolly done, one each.
Always a little more pressure when you're trailing, but it didn't show.
Ruben Neves is the second man to step up for his team.
He knew exactly what he wanted to do there and executed it perfectly.
So, the second man in line. No! Denied remarkably!
Well, it was a possibility of happening like that. The way he was moving beforehand, very good save.
Portugal with this chance to pull two clear. Off the post!
He didn't need to cut things so finely.
The third man in the queue. Big character, big moment, big save. Portugal with the chance to go two up. And the keeper's come up trumps.
Well, he had a little look at the goalkeeper, and maybe that put him off.
Dembele is fourth up. Great stop! And the keeper punches the air.
Well, the keeper's done brilliantly to keep his eye on the ball and make such a great save.
So it is all down to him now. No pressure. That's won it! Portugal have done it. Taken two. Well, what a sight this is. A beautiful evening and the promise of a match that will really get the juices flowing. I'm Peter Drury, and here with me in the commentary box, I'm glad to report, is Jim Beglin.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Drury, and hello to everyone.
Just listen to that noise. This place is definitely up for it. Let's hope we get a contest worthy of the setting. And already we're underway here. Now it's Thuram. No, that's been intercepted. Chance here to counter. That is ended up in no man's land. Mbappe is onto this. It's run loose here. Jim, you've played in games of this nature. Who can make the difference?
One of the game's best ever, Cristiano Ronaldo. He brings a power to whatever he does, and his unquenchable thirst for goals is always an enjoyable sideshow. It's very rare he fails to leave his mark.
Yeah, he'll be looking for a goal or two. That has been cut short. Ronaldo might just make this. Nuno Mendes. Cristiano Ronaldo. He's being urged to shoot.
That's just playing it safe and simple.
Nothing significant to report up to this point, but we are still very early in the game. This looks promising. And he's through, it's one-on-one. Oh, shooting chance! Oh, he's managed to get it all wrong.
Yeah, that's great running from the way he manoeuvred himself into such a good position to receive the pass and go through on the goalkeeper then.
And here's Vitinha. Ruben Neves. And it's Neves. That's a good foot in there. Portugal still without a single shot on target. Can he get on the end of this? Now it's Olise. Looking for the run. He's picked his way through. Mendes did just about enough to come out on top there. Neither party overly willing. Shot a goal! Oh, that was no routine save.
That's very, very good. You can't ask for much more than that.
And we have our very first corner. Tchouaméni goes short. And now they can spring out of defence. Now it's Ramos. João Neves receives it in a wide position. Oh, super big chance! Oh, what has happened here? Tries to cross, he's got tall against the crossbar. And he can clear it away. Thuram. And here's Ramos. João Neves. That is a great pick out. Cross deflected behind for a corner. Gone all the way through to the keeper. France are looking to go forward now. He is through here. João Neves. Oh, he couldn't quite make it. And here's the chance to counter. Well timed, excellent interception. Ruben Neves. And that's been intercepted.
That's great positioning, so good from him.
Olise. Mbappe. Gonzalo Ramos looks to get on the end of this. Klaus. Klaus powering forward here. Antonio Silva did well to emerge with the ball. That's a contest to keep an eye on. Back in possession and ready to go again. Good decision by the keeper, got that exactly right. Can he get it through? That is good alertness. Cross somewhat off target. Gonzalo Ramos. Now it's Cristiano Ronaldo. Oh, he's felt that, hasn't he? Well, that's surely a foul. Free kick. It looked as though that might lead to something quite promising, but it turned out that that was not the case. Ruben Neves showed plenty of zest in getting to the ball, but couldn't quite sort it out. He's in space and looking for options. That is a brilliant interception. And he thumps it clear.
Vamos ter minuto de compensação.
Doué gets across and deals with it. Now it's Thuram. So what can they make of this? Now it's Mbappe. Ruben Neves. And the first 45 minutes are up. So neither team were able to take the lead, but it certainly hasn't been for the lack of trying. An engrossing half, but we're still where we started, 0-0. Here we go again. So the first half brought no goals. And for a moment you felt that was going somewhere, but they'll have to go again. Pinches it off him. Well played, that has snuffed out the danger. Oh, this looks sharp. He's in a great position here. Thuram. Now it's Doué. Now it's Mbappe. And the through ball. Ruben Dias makes the interception. And here's Ramos. Well read. And the danger is averted.
That will annoy the manager. They're making themselves too predictable here.
Saliba calmly anticipates. Tchouaméni. And Doué. Oh, that's a key interception. Olise. Now it's Thuram. France are looking to play on the counter here, aren't they?
Well, I think it's pretty clear they've changed their shape, certainly when defending at least, because they've got to be ready to hit them hard on the counter-attack, and that seems to be the plan.
Good ball over the top. They get a throw in. Tchouaméni. Now it's Ramos. So we've reached the hour mark.
Well, he was given the time and room initially to hold on to the ball, but eventually he was squeezed that bit harder and the task became too much. I think he's got to be a little quicker in his distribution then and get others into the match.
And that interception was most necessary.
He read that really well and stopped it.
Saliba spots it and intercepts. Now it's Thuram. Now it's Olise. He's a sharp little ball here. Lovely bit of skill. A deeply frustrating game so far. Certainly in terms of the scoreline, it remains 0-0. And it's Doué. Oh, it's a promising build-up, this. Plenty of really nice passing. And he was alert to it.
There's nothing more infuriating for a fan than seeing passing without penetration. They're just stuck in a rut.
Substituição para Portugal. Número 23.
We have got changes here from both sides, in fact.
Número 7.
That has not
Cristiano
gone well.
Ronaldo. Número 15. Vão dar os seus lugares a... Número
Matheus
8.
Nunes
Número 18.
aims beyond the defence.
Número 17. Número 24.
Well, he certainly wasn't in the mood to take any risks.
Well, that tackle was certainly sturdy.
Well, he got rid because he was under pressure.
Into the last quarter of an hour. Oh, Red, nice interception. Tries to pass it through.
Portugal really can't be faulted for their attitude, and if they go on to win this, it'll be fully deserved.
Well seen, saw that coming.
That was well played, well stopped.
Well, that looks a decent ball. Chance for a shot! Goal! That could turn out to be a huge, huge goal!
There was this feeling that the game was petering out, but credit for never losing their focus despite things not going as planned. Now comes the question, will they stick or twist?
One sweeping move, executed with deadly efficiency.
Yeah, when you're hit on the counter-attack like that, it's like walking into a sucker punch, and they're dazed.
And it didn't take him long. Just sitting on the bench and waiting moments ago, already he has scored.
That's just as the manager would have seen it, an impact sub.
Portugal have penetrated for the first time.
What a great time to score, but it does give the manager a real headache. Does he sit on this lead now, or try and finish it off?
Substituição para Portugal. Número 19. Abandona o relvado e vai entrar com o número 5.
5 minutes left on the clock. France looking to pass their way through. Matheus Nunes.
I thought it was going to happen then. How many more chances can they realistically expect now?
Knocks it into space. No way through, so Matheus Nunes! Portugal close now to seeing this one through to the end.
They need to play this quicker in transitions like this.
Looking tidy in possession here. Now this could be a chance. Matheus Nunes. And that is that. Portugal have held on. They have doggedly, sometimes frantically, preserved the tightest of leads. Pedro Neto taking in the accolades, having been named man of the match, and deservedly so. Well, after all of that, Jim, what are you thinking?
This was all about tactics, Peter. A weakness in the central areas, both in defence and midfield, which is something we referred to before the game, and the manager was smart enough to make sure it was exploited.